And probably what took the most effort to restore is this. This is a Stanley Bailey number 6 jointer plane. This is probably, even though I haven't used it much yet, my favorite tool. I found this, again, like I said, most of my stuff comes from a local peddler's mall, and I took so much joy in taking out the rust, sharpening up the blade. I mean, I love this tool. This is so far my favorite hand tool. It was not in perfect condition, but the handles were in great shape. I didn't have to do anything to the handles. There was like a varnish on these metal parts here that had pitted, but once sanded through, that varnishing just got down to the bare metal, which I've oiled everything up to keep it from rusting. It has a nice smooth finish, so really there was no pitting, which I was quite surprised with. There was some damage that somebody had repaired. They'd soldered some brass in here, and looked like it had cracked clear through, but it does not have really any proud edges down here on the bottom to hinder it from use. They did a really, as far as I can tell from my non-expert opinion, a really good job at repairing this. It doesn't seem to be hindering the structure any. It still feels just as sturdy. It is fluted on the bottom. That was actually one of the more difficult parts to clean up due to all the rust getting down in these grooves here. And I was very pleased to find that once I got the blade and stuff, the breaker, the chip breaker, and the blade out, that it was stamped Stanley, so it has the original blade. It also has Stanley stamped here on the frog lever. It's got a brass adjustment knob. As far as I can tell, all of the pieces on this plane are original. I did some research, and this is at least 50 years old. I enjoy just looking at this plane. It's so solid, and I mean, to be in this good a shape after 50 years, it's just outstanding. I did not restore this, however, it is something that I enjoy having. It's a rule. It's a Lufkin Universal. Basically, it's just it's a nice sturdy measuring stick that folds up so that it's easy to carry around. And some people probably say, well, tape measures are just easy. Yeah, but you know, sometimes there's just some good things that are part of nostalgia. Gabe, come on, buddy. It's okay. Gabe doesn't like certain things. It puts off certain smells, so he gets a little upset. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Okay, sorry, I had to put Gabe upstairs so that y'all can hear better. Oh, well, he's a tricky little guy, and he's back. Sorry about that. So, this here is what I'm currently kind of working on. It's not something that I'm probably going to finish right away, but this is a double bit axe that I've also found with Cutler's Mall. The handle, as you can see, has got a little damage to it. Nothing that appears to be making the head any less stable, so it seems to be hung pretty good. As you can see, there is some gapping here in the top of the head. With my next, when I get my next handle for it, that'll all be fixed, of course. I haven't decided how much effort I'm going to put into cleaning up this head. It's obviously been painted before. It's got some red paint. It could have been used in firefighting, but a lot of the paint has been worn away over time, and there's still a lot of patina on here, and I kind of like the patina. I mean, like I said, I'm about functionality, not necessarily looks. I have sharpened it up. I do want to sand down this handle and put maybe a little bit of oiled linseed oil on it to help it last a little longer. Looks like it's got a metal wedge in there. I wish that there was instead a wood wedge with maybe a little metal step wedge, but I am not so lucky, so I'm going to have to try to chunk out some of that wood when I do replace this handle. I did get most of the rust off. I don't know how well I did at sharpening this axe. Hopefully when it warms up a little more, I'll get out back and give it a test shot just to see how well it bites and maybe see how strong this steel is. Grain orientation for the handle is not great. I don't know if you can see that very well. So I mean, it probably won't be too long before I do replace this handle, especially once I do a couple test swings on it this spring. However, I've been looking for a double bitted axe or even just a single bit axe for quite some time that somebody hadn't ruined. Most of the axe heads that I found, somebody had taken a grinder to them and just destroyed the ends. What I used was a Mill Bastard file, and it did a very nice job, as you can see, to get those edges reprofiled and sharpened up. But yeah, a lot of people they go out there and they know that there's money and things like that, and so they try to make them look nice and sharp by hitting them with a grinding wheel, which, don't get me wrong, you can make a very nice sharp edge with a grinding wheel and a little elbow grease thereafter, but I mean, most of these people just do it to make it look nicer, and they just destroy the profile of the edge. So it's taken me quite a while to find that axe that I was willing to spend the money on buying. I'm just going to show you a couple. I actually have 9, but these are molding planes. Found them online. Part of my goal is that as I get a larger shop and a nice steady bench vise, is to perhaps start working on making my own moldings. These molding planes, some of them were pretty decently sharp, some of them needed a little work, but they do all function. Perhaps when I I'm waiting to try to take some extra care in some of the wood. Some of them look like they may be starting to check a little. These ones don't look too bad. I have various different brands. Like this one's a Union Factory. So perhaps I'll bring you along when I start maybe put some oil on here to start care for this wood to make them last. For this here it's a grooving plane. So if I wanted to make like some tongue and groove, I would use this, and then this here is a cove plane. You can see it's got a profile here that you would see on like some cove molding, or most moldings have multiple different profiles. So like I would use this to make a cove, and then I also have a round that I could do to offset that cove. So these are I was pretty excited when I got these, and I look forward to getting to use them here in the future. I believe that is all the tools that I've restored thus far. Any tools that I received from like my uncle that were my grandfather's and stuff, I do try to take apart, oil them up, and put them in as best working condition as I can. I just really enjoy using my hands for these types of things. There's just something about creating something from nothing that gives you a sense of pride. You created this thing. You made something took something that was broken and fixed it so that it'll work again. There's just something that's so fulfilling about being able to do those types of tasks and knowing that you don't have to always rely on somebody else to do them for you. I do plan on having a small homestead later on down the road. I'm only 26. I've still got a lot of time and a lot of work to do. But perhaps also through this channel, maybe I can take you on that journey of working our way toward our homestead. We are looking for our first house, but our first house will not be our homestead house. Our goal with that is to just kind of get out there, establish ourselves a little more, get our family together, and to continue to develop my skills as both maybe a homesteader and a woodworker. And to do that, I need more space, which I don't have in my current living situation. However, I do love utilizing YouTube to learn about how to do these things. A lot of the tips that I used to restore these tools are I learned from Wrangler Star. I do also enjoy watching April Wilkerson. I was very pleased to find a female woodworker out there who really didn't have a whole lot of experience, and she just started picking up tools and started making things happen, and she produces some really quality work. I enjoy watching her. A lot of my woodworking tips that I get are from Jay Bates, and also I started out with Woodwork Web. When I found those two, that's really what helped me reevaluate that I could do this, and I hope that maybe I can be that for somebody else later down the road. Thank you. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you like what you see, and I'll see you next time.